Hi dear friends, welcome back to my channel. Bright Ideas for OET. Today I am going to discuss about the ultimate guide to OET test day. First thing is checking your venue details. The logistical preparation for test day starts long before you arrive at the venue. One of the first action you need to take is to check the timetable that was emailed to you. In this you will find the time to each subtest as well as the location of your test venue. Double check all of this to make sure you don't turn up at the wrong time or the wrong place. Second thing is, what should I bring? You need to prepare several items before you arrive at the OET test venue. First one is valid ID. The most important thing you need to bring with you is your valid ID document. You need to make sure the one you bring is the same one you used to apply for OET. If you bring the wrong ID, or the ID doesn't match the document you used during the application stage, you won't be allowed to take the test. Second one is stationery. Along with your ID, you can also bring a selected assortment of stationery into the test room. These are non-mechanical pencil and pencil erasers, pencil sharpener, clear plastic water bottle. Just like when you fly on a commercial plane, OET requires you to place all your stationery in a clear stationery holder like a pencil case or carry bag. A clear Ziploc bag that you use to carry small fluids when you fly is a good example. Additionally, you will need to ensure you have several sharpened 2B pencils for the reading and listening subtests, because they are computer marked. The OET test regulations also art out several items you are not allowed to bring into the test room. These include mechanical pens and pencils, gliders, correction fluid or tape, bags, notes or study materials, dictionaries or thesauruses, electronic items such as phones, MP3 players, cameras, watches. You should also bring a bag with you so you can deposit your phone and other restricted items. A good tip is to study with the stationery you will use during the test. This will help you get comfortable with your chosen pen or pencil as well as the 2B pencil. It will also stop you using any stationery that's not allowed in the test room. Third one is, what do I need to do when I arrive? With all your items packed, it's time to make your way to the test venue. All candidates receive a confirmation email once they apply for OET, detailing the date and time of their subtests. Make sure you read through this thoroughly to ensure you know when and where you are sitting the test. When you arrive, you will be greeted by a member of the venue staff outside the test room, who will direct you to the cloakroom. Turn off your mobile and take off your watch. Place them in your bag and deposit it along with your coat or jacket. Make sure you keep hold of your clear plastic stationery holder. Fourth one is ID check. After dropping off your phone and other restricted items, you will work your way through the OET registration process. Firstly, you will need to present your ID document. You will then have your photo taken by a member of the test venue staff. It's important to remember that if there are any discrepancies between your ID document, you won't be allowed to take the test. Once the ID check is complete and you have had your photo taken, you will be directed to a waiting room where you will await the start of the test. This is a good time to go to the toilet as you cannot leave the room during the listening test. In part 1, we walked through all steps up until the ID check. These included checking your venue details, what you need to bring to the test, when you should arrive, the ID check process. In part 2, we will walk through the final steps of the OET test day process. You will find information about sitting each subtest as well as when you can leave the venue. 1. What to do when you enter the test room. Following the ID check, you will be asked to enter the test room at the appropriate time. You will be allocated a desk, so quickly find it and take a seat. Once everyone is sitting, the invigilator will then read out a set of instructions. Pay attention as it contains critical information that will help you on test day. It also contains test rules and regulations that you must follow. For each subtest, venue staff will hand out personalized test papers. You will need to make sure your personal information is printed on the papers, before reading and signing the candidate declaration on the front page of your paper, if everything is correct. If your personal details are wrong, you have the wrong question paper or the question paper is incomplete or badly printed, you will need to tell the invigilator. If you are confused about any of the information that was read out to you, simply raise your hand and ask them for assistance. However, invigilators are not there to help you answer test questions. What order will the subtests come in? You will start with the listening sub-test followed by reading, writing and speaking, with a short break between the final two. However, sometimes the schedule will be different. If you are talking OET in the Americas, for instance, your timetable will look a little different. So it's important to check the timetable in the email you received when you applied for OET. 2. Sitting the listening sub-test. Once everyone signed the candidate declaration, the venue staff will conduct a sound check. If you cannot hear the words in the sound check clearly, tell staff and they will increase the volume and try again. The listening test will start following the completion of a successful sound check. 3. Sitting the reading sub-test. Before the start of the reading sub-test, venue staff will read out a new set of instructions. Once again, listen carefully as it contains key information about the sub-test. Sitting the writing sub-test. The writing sub-test takes 45 minutes and is specific to your profession. The papers will be given out by profession, while invigilators remind you that you cannot write anything during the first 5 minutes of the test. Once the writing sub-test is underway, invigilators will also warn you when there are only 10 minutes left until the end, and again when there are 5 minutes left. When the writing test ends, you can leave the test room. If your speaking time slot is later in the day, you will be able to collect your bag from the cloakroom and leave the test venue. 5. When your speaking time slot arrives, you will be asked to enter the room. The interlocutor will greet you and start the recording device before they check your identity. 6. All over. When the speaking sub-test comes to an end, you can collect your belongings from the cloakroom, and you may leave. You cannot take any of the papers out with you when you leave. Make sure you don't speak to any candidates who are still waiting to complete their speaking sub-test.